Last time, we have tackled about extracting the square root, factoring, and completing the square. So today, we will discuss how to solve quadratic equation by quadratic formula. Okay, so ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng quadratic formula? It is a formula used to find the solutions of any quadratic equations. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, wherein a is not equal to 0. Yung a, hindi pwede maging 0 kasi makakancel sa x squared. Kapag na-cancel sa x squared, magiging linear equation na lang siya and not a quadratic equation. And, ayun nga, by the way, ito ang formula, ito yung quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Yung quadratic formula, it is best na gamitin kung yung equation natin is not factorable. Ito yung pinaka-best na gagawin natin or ways na napipiliin natin sa apat na napag-aralan na natin. Okay, so at lagi nyo tatandaan, kapag magsosolve kayo ng quadratic formula, dapat yung equation nyo is in standard form. Dapat naka ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Dapat daw mauuna si x squared. Susunod daw si x. Susunod yung number lang o yung constant. Then equals 0. Dapat ganun lagi yung format before we identify all the values of a, b, and c. Ayun yung lagi yung tatandaan. So, ngayon, ano nga bang value ng a? Yung value ng a, yun yung numerical coefficient ng x squared, which is 1. Di ba pag wala nakasulat, 1 ng numerical coefficient? Okay, next. Yung b naman natin is the numerical coefficient of x, yung katabi ng x, which is positive 8. Pero hindi na susulat yung positive. 8 na lang. Kasi automatic positive na yan. And then yung c natin is our constant o yung number lang, which is negative 9. Okay, so ngayon pwede na tayong gamit ng quadratic formula, which is x equals negative. Sundan ko lang yung formula, negative. And then yung b natin is 8 plus or minus square root of, anong ulit yung b natin? 8, lalagyan ng squared. 8, then squared minus 4, sabi, 4ac. AC. So, ang a natin is 1, and our c is negative 9. Okay, nagkamali. Negative 9. All over 2a. So, 2a, yung a natin is 1. Okay, ngayon, simplify na natin. We have x equals negative 8 plus or minus square root of 8 times 8 is 64. Dito kayo nagkakamali. Ang ginagawa nyo, 8 times 2. Hindi po ganun yun. Ang ibig sabihin nito, twice sa sarili. So, 8 times 8, 64. Okay, so next, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Tandaan ninyo, pag parehas ng sign, positive. Kapag magkaiba ng sign, negative. So, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And then, negative 4 times negative 9, the answer is positive 36. So, bakit naging positive? Kasi parehas silang negative. Kakasabi ko lang, di ba? Pag parehas ng sign, magiging positive. Okay, so we have 36. Then, 2 times 1, the answer is 2. So, bring down x equals negative 8 plus or minus square root of 64 plus 36. The answer is 100. And then, i-divide natin sa all over 2a. Then, bring down x equals negative 8 plus or minus What is the square root of 100? Yes, that is 10. Kasi 10 times 10 is 100. So, the square root of 100 is 10. Then, all over 2. So, ngayon, kapag ganito na yung format niya, malinis na siya, pwede na nating makuha yung mga solutions, dalawang solution. Okay, so una, plus muna yung gagamitin natin, di ba? Tulad ng ginawa natin last time, may plus at saka may minus. Yung plus muna yung gagamitin natin. So, bring down x equals negative 8 plus 10 over 2. Okay, baka magtaka kayo sa kung ko yung plus, dito yon. Mamaya na yung minus. Okay, next. So, x equals negative 8 plus 10. The answer is positive 2. So, bakit positive? Kapag magkaiba ng sign, we subtract. So, minus ko. Then, copy the sign of the biggest number. Then, copy over 2. So, x equals 2 divide 2. The answer is 1. And this is our first solution. So, paano naman sa isa pang solution? Okay, so gagamit tayo ng isa pang page. We have x. So, we have x equals negative 8 minus 10 over 2. So, kung saan ko nakuha ito? Dito ko nakuha yan dito. Ang ginamit ko kanina plus, di ba? Ngayon naman, yung minus naman ang gagamitin ko. Ito yon. Okay, so solve natin. X is equal to negative 8 minus 10. The answer is negative 18. Nag-add tayo kasi parehas ng sign. All over 2. Negative kasi mas malaki si 10 when we absolute number 10. So bring down x equals negative 18 divide 2. The answer is negative 9. And this is our second solution. For our second example, we have x squared minus 4x minus 21 equals 0. So, naka-standard form siya, tama? Una yung x squared, susunod si x, susunod yung constant o yung number lang. Then, equals 0. And this is the quadratic formula. Sinulat ko sa gilid para hindi nyo makalimutan. Okay, so i-fill out na natin kung ano yung mga values ng a, b, and c. So, ang value ng a natin dito sa number 2 is 1. Kasi, kapag walang nakasulat, 1 ang nakasulat dyan. So, b naman natin is, yung numerical coefficient ng x is negative 4. Don't forget the sign. So, kailangan nyo lagi tumitingin sa sign. Pag dito pa lang mali na kayo sa lahat. So yung c natin yung number lang, which is constant, negative 21. So ngayon, pwede na tayong gumamit ng quadratic formula. So we have x equals negative dito sa b sa formula. B, ano b natin? Negative 4. Then, plus or minus, square root of, ano ba yung b natin? That is negative 4 squared minus 4a, yung a natin is 1, and then yung c natin is negative 21. All over 2, yung a natin is 1. So, again, negative b, yung b natin, negative 4, plus or minus is square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So, simplify. So, we have x equals, so, anong rule sa multiplication? the same sign, positive yun. So, negative times negative 4, that is positive 4. Magiging positive na siya. Plus or minus square root of negative 4 times negative 4. The answer is positive. Positive na. 16. So, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Then, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 21 is positive 84. So, bakit yan naging positive? Kasi pare silang negative. All over 2 times 1 is 2. So, bring down x equals 4, positive and negative. 16 plus 84, the answer is 100. Okay. Again, 16 plus 84 is 100. Then, all over 2. Next, we have x equals 4 plus or minus. Ano nga ang square root ng 100? Yes, ang square root ng 100 is 10 over 2. So, ngayon, gamitin na natin si plus. Mamaya na si minus para mahanap natin yung first solution. So, we have x equals 4 plus 10 over 2. So, x equals 4 plus 10, the answer is 14. Divided by 2, the answer is, the value of x is 7. Okay, so bakit 7? 14 divide 2 is 7. Okay, so hanapin naman natin yung isa pang solution. Dito ko ilalagay. So, we have x equals 4 minus 10. Okay, so ngayon, bakit minus naman? Kasi kanina plus yung ginamit natin. Ngayon, minus naman. So, over 2. So, we have x equals. Okay, different sign. We subtract 10 minus 4. The answer is 6. Then, copy the sign of the biggest number divided by 2. So, x equals negative 6 divide 2. The answer is negative 3. This is our second solution. So, bakit negative? Kasi magkaiba ng sign. For our third example, we have x squared plus 9x equals 5. So, ngayon, i-check muna natin kung naka-standard form siya. So, dapat una yung x squared, susunod yung x, susunod yung constant. And then, equals 0. So, mali. Diba? Mali. Dapat si positive 5 ay nandito. So, aayusin muna natin. Yun ang gagawin natin. Arrange it first before we identify the values of a, b, and c. So, pag x squared plus 9x, pag nilipat natin si positive 5, magiging negative 5. Then, write equals 0. So, ngayon, naka-standard form na siya, we can now identify the values of a, b, and c. So, yung numerical coefficient ng x squared ay 1. Okay, and then yung numerical coefficient ng x is positive 9 or 9 na lang. And then, our c is negative 5. So, use the formula, quadratic formula. So, we have x equals negative b, yung b natin is 9, plus or minus square root of b squared, 9, which is 9, squared, which is 9 squared, minus 4, yung a natin is 1, and then yung b, yung c natin is negative 5 all over 2a. Yung a natin is 1. Okay, so b squared minus 4ac. Okay, simplify. We have x equals negative 9 plus or minus square root of 9 times 9 is 81. Next, negative 4 times 1. The answer is negative 4. Then negative 4 times negative 5. The answer is positive 20. Then all over 2. Bakit 2? Kasi 2 times 1, 2. Next, x equals negative 9 plus or minus square root of 81 plus 20. The answer is 101 over 2. X equals negative 9 plus square root of 101 over 2. Ito na yung equation natin. Kasi, yung 101 is not perfect square. Hindi siya perfect square. Kaya ang ginawa ko, kinopya ko na lang. And then, solve for the first solution. Kaya yung plus muna yung ginamit ko. Nagigets nyo ba? Then, mamaya yung minus naman. Ito na ang final answer. So, bakit kaya? Hindi natin pwedeng ipag-add si negative 9 plus 101 kasi naka-radical sign siya. Kaya, hindi natin pwedeng i-add. Ito na yung our first solution. So, how about the second solution? We have x equals negative 9. Kanina, ginamit natin yung positive, di ba? Yung minus naman yung gagamitin natin. So, minus, copy square root of 101 over 2. And this is our second solution. Okay, so hindi natin pwedeng pagsamahin kasi may radical sign. For our fourth example, we have negative 2x squared minus 5x plus 3 equals 0. So, check muna natin kung naka-standard form. X squared, x, and then the constant equals 0. Okay, so tama, naka-standard form. Now, we can identify the values of A, B, and C. So, ano kaya ang value ng A? That is negative 2. Okay, how about yung B natin? Negative 5. And then yung, so that is negative 5. Then yung value ng C natin is positive 3. So, be careful with the sign. So, sunod natin yung formula na nakasulat dito. We have x equals negative b. So, ano B natin? Negative 5. Plus or minus square root of b squared, which is negative 5 squared minus 4. Yung a natin is negative 2 times negative 4ac, which is 3, then all over 2a. Yung a natin is negative 2. Copy x equals negative times negative 5. The answer is positive 5. Plus or minus square root of negative 5 times negative 5. The answer is positive 25. Then negative 4 times negative 2. The answer is positive 8. Then 8 times 3. The answer is positive 24. All over 2 times negative 2. That is negative 4. Again, paano nakuha yung 24? Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Then 8 times 3, 24. So, bring down. X equals 5 plus or minus 25 plus 24. The answer is 49 over negative 4. X equals 5 plus or minus. Anong square root ng 49? Ang square root ng 49 is 7 over negative 4. Ngayon, pwede na tayong mag-solve for the first solution. So, we use the positive sign first. So, we use, then X equals 5 plus 7. So, yung positive muna yung gagamitin natin. Then, over 4. So, we have X equals 5 plus 7. The answer is 12 over 4. Then, X is negative pala. Negative yun. Huwag nyo kakalimutan yung sign, di ba? Negative yun kanina. Kalimutan. Next, 12 divide 4. Divide negative 4. The answer is negative 3. So, bakit negative 3? Okay, so kakasabi ko lang kanina, pag magkaiba ng sign, negative. So, for our second solution, X equals 5 minus 7 over negative 4. So, bakit negative? Kasi, di ba kanina, plus yung ginamit natin dito. Ngayon, yung negative naman, yung minus naman for the second solution. So, we have X equals 5 minus 7. The answer is negative 2. Kapag magkaiba ng sign, we subtract. Then, copy the sign of the biggest number when we absolute. So, we have negative 2 over negative 4. So, dito, hindi natin sila pwedeng i-divide, di ba? Pero, pwede nating i-lowest term. So, saan natin pwedeng i-divide si 2 na pwedeng i-divide si 4? That is 2. So, we have X. Pag parehas negative, magiging positive. So, 2 and 4 are both divisible by 2. I-lowest term natin. 2 divide 2. The answer is 1. 4 divide 2. The answer is 2. And this is our second solution. For our last example, we have 4x squared minus 32 equals 0. So, naka-standard form na siya, di ba? Pero ang problem dito is wala tayong value ni x. Okay, so, lagyan na natin yung mga value ng a, b, and c natin. Yung value ng a is the numerical coefficient of x squared. So, that is 4. Ngayon, yung dito, may nakikita ba kayong x? Term na x? Di ba wala? So, therefore, 0 ang b natin kasi wala tayong x ngayon. How about yung c, which is the constant, yung walang variable, this negative 32. Okay, bakit nga ulit 0? Wala yung x. X term. So, ngayon, pwede na tayong gumamit ng quadratic formula. So, x equals negative b, yung b natin 0, plus or minus square root of b squared, which is 0, squared natin, minus 4, a natin is 4, and then c is negative 32. All over 2a, yung a natin is 4. So, solve ang x equals, since negative 0 na to, hindi na natin siya kailangan pang isulat. Okay? So, hindi natin to kailangan isulat. Sa plus or minus na tayo agad. So, bakit? Kasi 0 na lang siya eh. So, next, square root of 0 times 0 is 0. Negative 4 times 4, the answer is negative 16. And negative 16 times negative 32 is positive 512. Then over 2 times 4, 8. So bring down x equals plus or minus 0. 0 plus 512. The answer is 512 over 8. So we write x equals plus or minus. Next na gagawin natin is copy x equals positive and negative square root of. Yung 512, meron siyang factor na yung isa perfect square, yung isa hindi perfect square. And that is 256 times 2. Then all over 8. So, ang square root ng 256 is 16. Okay, so bring down x equals positive and negative 16 square root of 2. So, yung 2 nakakulong pa din kasi yung 2 hindi siya perfect square. Ang square root ng 256 is 16. Then, copy 2. So, saan ko to nakuha? 256 times 2 is the same as 512. Parehas lang yan. Binibreakdown ko lang. Kasi yung isa, perfect square. Meron siyang isang factor na pwede nating i-simplify. Then, all over 8. So, para mag-gets nyo yung ginawa ko dito, like say for example, we have x equals square root of 20. Yung 20, pwede natin siyang isulat as 4 times 5. Diba? 4 times 5 is 20. Ngayon, kung ayusin natin to, we have x equals, anong square root ng 4? Diba? 2? 2 ang square root ng 4. So, 2, then square root of 5. So, yung 5, naiwan pa rin siya sa loob. Kasi yung 5, hindi siya perfect square. While yung 4, in-square root ko na siya, which is 2. So, ganun din ang ginawa ko dito. Nag-isip ako ng isang factor na yung isa perfect square. And then, yung perfect square na yun, kukunin ko yung square root, then ilalabas. Then, maiiwan yung isa, yung hindi perfect square. So, ganyan ang ginawa ko dyan. Okay, so itutuloy na natin yung pagsosolve. Copy x. Pwede na pala tayong mag-simplify dito. Yung plus muna yung gamitin natin. Okay, yung plus muna. Yung plus sign. So, equals. Pero hindi ko na isusulat yung plus. So, we have 16 square root of 2 over 8. Ngayon, si 16 at saka si 8, merong number na pwedeng i-divide sa kanilang dalawa. Which is 8. Diba? 16 divide 8. The answer is 2. 2 ang sagot. So, x equals 2 square root of 2. So, ito na yung una nating ito na yung una nating solution. So, ulitin ko ulit yung ginawa natin. 16 divide 8. The answer is 2. Then, copy square root of 2. Hindi ko na sinunod yung positive kasi automatic na tong plus. So, solve naman natin yung pangalawang solution. So, we have x equals negative, ano nga ulit yun? Negative 16 square root of 2 over 8. So, saan ko to kinopya? Dito ko lang yung kinopya, okay? Kanina plus yung ginamit natin. Ngayon yung minus naman yung ginamit natin, yung negative sign. Okay, so tuloy na natin. X equals, yung 16 at saka 8 pwedeng i-divide. So, negative 16 divide 8, the answer is negative 2, then copy square root of 2. And this is our final answer for our second solution.